Hey y'all, we are back for another episode of Raw with a Purpose. I am Titani Harris, psychotherapist, author, speaker, CEO of TMH Behavioral Services, and founder of TMH Man Cave.
Hey y'all, I'm Latasha Davis, Vice President of TMH Behavioral Services, couples, marriage, family, and relationship expert.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, but today's episode is a little heavy for us today because what are we talking about today?
I know, yeah. So as you all know, it's our mental health podcast, and yes, we like to have fun and we like to be relatable and break things down, but I thought it was important that we do an episode on SAD. SAD stands for Seasonal Affective Disorder. And what SAD is it's like a recurrent type of depression, right? And it tends to come in the seasons, with different seasons, specifically the winter time, and it comes and goes. And so despite the acronym for SAD being SAD, it's more than being sad, right? It's not just you're sad. Like some of the symptoms are like excessive sleepiness, weight gain, overeating, low energy, even social withdrawal, right? And so
seasonal funk.
That's seasonal funk. And the key thing to differentiate SAD from any other kind of depression is that the time of year that it happens, right? So we're thinking like, especially if you live in Chicago, that September to like February time, which is why most people like to go to warmer climates. SAD is in full effect.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think for us too, because I know we tend to travel even more in the fall, and maybe now I'm thinking about it. Now we talking about. I mean, not only is it peak season, but we do it, and I think that is because of our mental health.
Yep.
But definitely like the winter blues. They call that. That's
the winter blues.
Yeah, winter blues. And like you said, the low energy. You're feeling real sluggish.
Yes.
You're feeling like sleeping and just difficult to concentrate.
Yep.
So I've noticed in my work with individuals specifically that tend to happen and they don't even notice it. And they notice that it's a change, but then it's like, you know what? I think it is because of the time of year it is. And so we're just kind of exploring that piece and figuring out like what do we need to do to like get you on track, make sure you're taking care of yourself, make sure you're doing things that's going to help you in those moments.
Another thing to key on too, not just the season, but holiday time.
Ooh,
right?
Holiday, the winter blues.
Yes, you talked about that, the winter blues. So like, SAD comes up for folks during the holiday times. I know for me, like, and Tasha, you know this about me, I'm not really a big holiday person, just because of just some challenges, right? Just how the holidays make me feel and remind me of certain things. And so I don't know if I've ever been diagnosed with SAD, but I feel like I've had some of those. I do realize like during the holidays my energy is kind of low, but I'm able to push through it.
Right. And I've noticed that too, so I try to do a good job of when we're doing things like, especially like holiday stuff, always trying to make sure you're involved, make sure to check in on you, because I do tend to notice that you kind of isolate yourself.
I do.
And you'll close off, and I'm probably like here for a day, so let me check in on.
Because the holiday triggers that stuff, right? It triggers like some of the isolation and loneliness that can lead to depression. That's a key thing too. Like when you isolate and you feel lonely, that leads to some form of depression. But it's important that you recognize it, and like you said, you're able to pull me in, or who it's important to have good support system. What I'm hearing, and people who you can kind of lean on during that time, because SAD is real, y'all. Seasonal Affective Disorder is real.
Yep, and like I said, it's from that September to that February type of thing. And like I was just telling you, it's also because the season changes, so you get the weather is more gloomy, it's more windy, so a lot of people tend to stay in, and then the daylight savings time, right? So now it's not as much light outside, so you got all these different factors that's coming into play on top of our own mental health and emotional down part. So it's just like we need to make sure that we just tapping into that, making sure that you're pulling your friend in, your family member in, making sure we're being in tune with what's happening with us, and making sure we're in tune with our own selves, like just being able to be verbal about it and say, you know what, I'm not doing my best, this is a hard season for me, and being able to communicate that, and then also being able to not only communicate but receive that support from your friend, because you can say, hey, this is what's happening, and then sometimes people just want to close off, but sometimes your friends just don't like, no, we can't just close off. You can't just give me that piece of information and just think I'm just gonna let you go.
Exactly. I think some things that people can do to combat some of that is some of the things you mentioned, right? Support, if you need to engage your therapist. But also, I think some other things people can do on their own is maybe you change the curtains in your house, right? Dark colors can be sort of can make you feel sad
Yeah.
anyway. So maybe you brighten up the curtains. Maybe you go outside more. You know, I know it's cold out. It gets cold out, but like finding something you can enjoy to be outdoors, letting some of that sunlight in.
And probably thinking about the type of music we're listening to.
The music you're listening
type
to.
of shows we're watching.
Yes, all that plays a role.
So some of those things plays a role because a lot of times you have some of those like emotional movies on during the holiday season, so that makes you feel a certain type of way.
You still single? I had to throw that in there.
It do. Cause I get in my feelings a little bit.
Yes,
a little bit.
Does,
It's a little bit.
But I'm here as your friend to support you. Think that's a tip. I am here as your friend, and I support you doing that.
Cause she got a man.
Business.
But it's just,
You see how she told my business again.
but we're gonna keep this more on a serious tip.
Yes, but seriously, y'all.
But we just want to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, making sure you know you're not alone, making sure that it's okay to feel the way you feel, but also making sure it's okay for you to get the help that you need during that time.
And I'll just end with y'all that SAD or seasonal affective disorder is very common during the winter time, as Latasha said, during that September time all the way to February. It's the low energy, changes in the low energy and changes in your appetite are common. Sometimes the social isolation is common. And one thing we didn't add was that it's all caused by the decrease in your serotonin levels because the season is changing, and y'all, let's just be honest, life is just hard sometimes, right? So I would encourage everybody to not beat themselves up.
Give yourself grace.
Give yourself
because life
growth,
be lifing.
Because life be lifing. Sit with your emotions and do your best not to get lost in them. So, y'all, we know this episode was kind of heavy, but we hope that you all have a better understanding of what SAD is, seasonal affective disorder, and understand how you can combat SAD during the holiday season.
Yes, definitely.
So as we wrap up, make sure y'all follow us on Raw with a Purpose on all social media platforms.
All social media platforms.
Follow TMH Behavioral Services because we are new to social media. Follow Titania Harris, TMH Man Cave.
Follow me, Latasha D29 at IG, and also our website, rawwithapurpose.com. You catch all our stuff there. And also we have an email, so rawwithapurpose@gmail.com.
Yep. So thank y'all for listening. So we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you. See ya.